If you're a UK pensioner who rents your home, or you know someone who does, I need you to pay very close attention to what I'm about to say. Because the Department for Work and Pensions has just confirmed a major change that's coming in 2027, and it could mean the difference between getting thousands of pounds of support every year or missing out completely. They are bringing together two of the most important benefits for pensioners, pension credit and housing benefit, into a single, streamlined claim process. And this isn't just a small admin tweak. This is a fundamental overhaul that the government believes could prevent up to 100,000 pensioners from falling into poverty every single year. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Another government change that just makes things more complicated? I get it. We've all been burned before by promises that don't deliver. But this time, it's different. The DWP has actually done the research, and they found that under the current system, a staggering 27% of the questions asked across both benefit applications overlap. That means you're wasting time, repeating yourself, and dealing with two separate organisations, the DWP for pension credit and your local council for housing benefit, when you should only have to tell your story once. But here's the catch that I need you to understand right now. This change isn't going to happen automatically. It's rolling out in phases, starting with a small group of invited customers from autumn 2026. And the full rollout? That's coming in 2027. So, if you're eligible for these benefits and you don't know the new rules, you could be leaving thousands of pounds on the table. Before we dive into exactly what this change means for you and your money, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps the channel, and it means you won't miss any of the other crucial updates we've got coming. Now, let's get into it, because if you're a pensioner who rents, this is one of the most important videos you'll watch. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is happening here? The DWP is working on a new service that will allow eligible pensioners to apply for both pension credit and housing benefit through a single claim, rather than having to fill out two completely separate applications. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds sensible. Why wasn't it always like this? Well, the reason is that these two benefits have always been administered by different organisations. Pension credit is managed by the DWP, while housing benefit has always been the responsibility of your local council. So, if you wanted to claim both, you had to deal with two different sets of forms, two different sets of rules, and two different bureaucracies. It's been a nightmare for pensioners for years. And the government has finally recognised that this fragmentation is causing real harm. In documents published alongside this project, DWP officials said something that should shock everyone. The impact of this fragmentation is significant, with many pension-age citizens missing out on vital financial support. Up to 100,000 pensioners enter relative poverty each year. Let that sink in for a moment. 100,000 pensioners a year are falling into poverty, at least in part because the system is too complicated for them to navigate. That's a national scandal. And the government is finally doing something about it. So, what is pension credit exactly, and why is it so important? Pension credit is a benefit that tops up your weekly income if you're on a low income and you've reached state pension age. For the 2026 to 2027 tax year, the standard minimum guarantee has increased to £238 a week for a single person and £363.25 a week for a couple. That means if your income is below those levels, pension credit brings you up to that guaranteed minimum. And if you're already on pension credit, you might be seeing an extra £10.90 a week in your pocket from April. For couples, that's an extra £16.65 a week. Over a full year, that's up to £566 extra for singles and £865 for couples. That's real money. But here's the thing that most people don't realise. Pension credit isn't just a benefit on its own. It's what the experts call a gateway benefit. Once you qualify for pension credit, even if it's only a few pence a week, you unlock a whole host of other support. And for pensioners who rent, housing benefit is arguably the biggest gateway of them all. If you qualify for pension credit and you rent your home, you can often get housing benefit that covers all or most of your rent. And that's not a small amount. If your rent is £600 a month, that's over £7,000 a year that could be covered. And remember, that's on top of the pension credit cash itself. Let me give you a real example to show how powerful this is. Imagine you're a couple in your late 60s, renting a home for £600 a month. Your council tax is around £1,400 a year. You've got a low income and no private pension. If you claim pension credit, you could get around £2,600 a year in cash top-up. But that's just the beginning. Because you're on pension credit, you could also get housing benefit covering your rent. That's £7,200 a year. Then there's council tax reduction, which could save you the full £1,400. Add in the warm home discount and the winter fuel payment, and you're looking at over £11,600 of total support. That's transformational. That's the difference between struggling to get by and being able to afford the heating, the food, and the little extras that make life worth living. But here's the problem. Right now, to get all of that, you have to navigate two completely separate applications. You have to apply for pension credit through the DWP, and then you have to apply for housing benefit through your local council. And the DWP's own analysis has found that around 27% of the questions asked across both applications are the same. So you're repeating yourself, you're sending the same information to two different places, and you're dealing with two different sets of staff. It's inefficient, it's frustrating, and it puts people off applying altogether. And that's why the government is finally doing something about it. The new service, which is set to roll out fully in 2027, will allow you to apply for both benefits through a single claim. The idea is that you'll only need to tell your story once, regardless of which organisation actually processes the claim. The government is designing a service that will be available through multiple channels: online, by post, over the phone, or in person, so that you can use whichever method works best for you. And they're not just slapping a new website together and hoping for the best. The project has already successfully completed its Government Digital Service Alpha Assessment, receiving a green rating across all 14 areas reviewed. The assessors praised the team's understanding of users' needs and the work being carried out to create a simpler, more consistent application process. That's genuinely good news, and it suggests that this time the government might actually get it right. Now, I want to be clear about what's happening and when. The first phase will launch in autumn 2026, when a small group of invited customers will be able to apply online. This is essentially a test run to make sure the system works before it's opened up to everyone. Then, based on user feedback and further testing, the service will be expanded to support all customers across all available channels. The full rollout is expected in 2027. So, if you're a pensioner who rents your home, you need to be ready for this change. It's coming, and it could make your life a lot easier. But I also need to tell you about the political context behind this change. This policy was originally announced under the previous Labour government, and it's continuing under the new Prime Minister, Andy Burnham, who has reappointed Pat McFadden as DWP boss. So this isn't a policy that's going to be scrapped or delayed because of a change in leadership. The commitment is solid. The Minister for Pensions has confirmed that work is ongoing to deliver the joined-up service, saying, "Through bringing together the administration of pensioner housing benefit and pension credit, we are designing a service which is easy to use to enable more pensioners to receive the benefits they are entitled to." And the charity Independent Age has welcomed the move, saying that too many older people living on a low income do not receive the money they are entitled to, with almost 2 in 5 of those eligible for pension credit missing out. The charity says the reasons for this include lack of awareness, a perception of shame, and complex application processes that put many people off applying. And they're right. The stigma around claiming benefits is real, and the complexity of the system only makes it worse. But there's a really important point I need to stress here. The new service does not replace the current operational responsibilities for benefit award decision-making. Housing benefit will still be administered by local authorities, and pension credit will still be managed by the DWP. The two organisations haven't merged. What's changing is the application process, not the underlying administration. So, your council will still be the one paying your housing benefits, and the DWP will still be the one paying your pension credit. But you'll only have to apply once, and the information you provide will be shared between the two organisations to make sure you get everything you're entitled to. This is where I need to give you a very important warning. While this change is going to make claiming easier, it doesn't change the fact that you still have to claim. If you're already on pension credit, the new system might automatically prompt you to claim housing benefit if you're renting. But if you're not on pension credit yet, you still need to take action. The government is doing more to proactively identify people who are eligible, but they're not going to come knocking on your door. The DWP has already improved how they use existing data to target new pensioner housing benefit customers to ensure they are prompted to claim any pension credit to which they are entitled. But it's still on you to respond to those prompts and to make the claim. And if you're worried about the state of your finances, there's another reason this change is so important. The DWP has carried out research that shows the impact of the winter fuel payment changes could push an additional 50,000 pensioners into relative poverty in 2026, and that figure could rise to 100,000 in 2027 and 2029. That's the same year this new merged service is expected to roll out fully. So, the government is making it easier to claim benefits at the same time as other changes are making life harder for pensioners. That's not a coincidence. The government knows that if they're going to tighten eligibility for one benefit, they need to make it easier to claim the others. And that's exactly what they're doing. So, what should you do right now? If you're a pensioner who rents your home, you need to check if you're eligible for pension credit and housing benefit. If you're already on pension credit and you're paying rent, make sure you've applied for housing benefits through your local council. That's a separate claim right now, and you might be missing out on thousands of pounds a year if you haven't done it. If you're not on pension credit, use the DWP's online calculator to check your eligibility. You can apply up to 4 months before you reach state pension age, and you can backdate your claim by 3 months if you were eligible during that time. And keep an eye out for the new merged service, which is coming in 2027. When it launches, it should make the whole process much simpler. But here's the thing I really want you to take away from this video. This change is a huge step forward, but it's only going to help you if you know about it and you take action. The government isn't going to send a representative to your house to tell you what you're entitled to. You have to be proactive. You have to check your eligibility, and you have to claim what's rightfully yours. The money is there, the support is there, and with this new service, the process is going to get much easier. But you still have to make the first move. If you're already on pension credit, or you've applied for housing benefit, drop a comment below and tell me how the process went for you. Did you find it complicated? Did you get the help you needed? Your experience could help someone else who's thinking about applying. And if you've got questions about the new merged service, ask them in the comments. I read every single comment, and I'm here to help. We're a community here, and we look out for each other. But before you go, I need to ask you something important. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell. Why? Because this is the kind of change that's going to keep evolving, and the government will announce more details as we get closer to the 2027 rollout. If you're not subscribed, you might miss the next update, and that could cost you money. So, subscribe now, hit the bell, and make sure you never miss a video. This is your money we're talking about, and you deserve to know everything that's changing. So, check your eligibility, apply for what you're entitled to, and look out for the new merged service when it launches. It's coming, and it could make a massive difference to your finances. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.